So Virgo, your week beginning the 10th of November forecast begins with your ruler Mercury, having gone into the last of its annual retrogrades right at the end of last week, and it is going to be merging with Mars right at the heart of this week. And it's possible that when it comes to discussing anything of a more delicate nature, maybe to do with the Christmas arrangements, or something that you feel strongly about from an emotional viewpoint, that things can just feel that much more raw, and that could be quite triggering if someone says something that you feel to be rather insensitive. There's even a part of you at the start of this week, Virgo, that may want to spin out a little bit from the more emotional dimension of your life and do something more free-spirited. That's because of Uranus's opposition to Mars. But just watch a little bit of defensiveness. And Jupiter joins Mercury in a retrograde on Tuesday through to the 11th of March. Now Jupiter, the biggest of the planets beyond the Sun, in the sign of Cancer for you, is very social. It doesn't mean to say that your life won't be sociable through to the 11th of March, but I think quality over quantity is going to resonate more with you, particularly at the heart of this week, because the moon is in the 12th house, squaring off to the sun in the 3rd. You could learn something, read something online. Someone could tell you something that you're not expecting, and it may be that someone disappoints you because they've not been quite as careful about something you've shared with them, or perhaps even you perceive them as being a bit disloyal. A bit of gossip could be doing the rounds, to be honest. But do keep the faith, because as this week develops, despite Jupiter's retrograde, and despite that abrasive link between Mercury and Mars, and the potential for crosswires with Mercury's retrograde around family and emotional matters, the latter part of this week sees Saturn, the Sun, and Jupiter forge an absolutely fantastic link, a grand water trine. You could have a conversation with someone who does meet all your expectations. They are sincere, they are solid, they are reliable. So this is a week when I think you may need to steer clear of fair weather friends, people that you may like but aren't necessarily your absolute favourite people. And you know, when we're not feeling at our best, there are some people that can be more difficult to be around. But also, if there are some very personal things or things you want to change at home and they don't go quite as quickly as you would like, just try to ward off some frustration, because the big picture is that something can shape up in terms of a conversation, in terms of a relationship, in terms of a friendship. It just may go a little slower, but if it does shape up for you, it's much more likely to be long lasting. So a little bit of frustration or disappointment this week. Despite Jupiter's retrograde, there is still a chance to make mighty progress in the back end of this year. If you've yet to order your year 2026 personal horoscope, totally based on your unique birth data and 30% off, please see the link below for more.